Hi, my name's Ed. I'm the chairman of the Waggonway Heritage Group.
What are you guys doing today?
So today we're starting to get stuck back into the old Kirk salt pan house. This is 1630s, we think, salt pan house, dating back to when the Earl of Winton established the salt works here. And we are going straight in and taking off some of the dirt that we didn't get shifted last time, and hopefully get down to some archaeology by tomorrow.
My name is Alan Braby and I'm an archaeologist. Obviously, you know, COVID, we were kind of scuppered for doing stuff last year, so this is our first opportunity to get back into it and actually try and understand what's happening.
Before the pandemic, we were here, must have been 2019 that we had a dig here, almost exactly 2 years ago. And we opened up the first portion of the building that the guys are working in at the moment that you can see, protected it for the future, and we're back now to complete the work that we started. We got right down onto a layer where there were brick flue systems, and we were starting to make sense of that, but we ran out of time on that dig, so this is why we're going back in just now. We also got some nice pottery dating to the 17th century, and glass and pottery from the 18th century as well, so we were starting to see a chronology of archaeology in there.
We know it's been rebuilt in the Victorian period as a domestic dwelling, a tenement, and we've just at the moment just recorded and removed the Victorian brick walls. It was actually demolished just before the Second World War, about 1940.
Well, this time we're chasing back into the building, so we're going back into what we think should be the furnace area of the salt pan, and hopefully we can make more sense of the internal structures that are inside.
We're consolidating the back section at the moment, and tomorrow we're going to start excavating the last reuse of the pan house surfaces that we got hints of in previous seasons. We think the pan house was possibly built by the Earl of Winton about 1630, give or take. It might be slightly later, but we don't know when it went out of use as a pan house. Hopefully we'll get some dating evidence over the next couple of days that will give a hint of that.
No, we're just having lots of fun, and it's great to be back doing some archaeology after really traumatic sort of 18 months, so you can see that everybody's getting stuck in just now, so it's great to see.
Well, this is the end of our day two within this area. As you can see, we've got rid of all the Victorian structures, the sleeper beams, the walls and things, and we're now down onto the salt pan structures itself. We've got the walls coming round, the original construction, probably 1630, coming round behind me here. Associated with them is this wall that comes along here and then goes off that way, and then there's this wall here coming and going that way as well. That's part of the original construction, as is this large blocked up archway you can see in the wall there. It's absolutely massive. We think it's about 3 metres wide. We don't know its function yet, but we have just got to the bottom of it there, and it's about 160, 170 high. We will hopefully find out what's happening with that tomorrow. The pan for that would have sat, the big iron pan would have sat in the middle with the corners on these walls here, with the flues and the hot air coming underneath, so it boiled off the brine and things. At some stage it's all filled in, as you can see, with all this red and black and orange ash deposits. It's gone out of use, we imagine, and then a later phase in probably the early 19th century, they've come along and rebuilt a flue system using the bricks you can see in the foreground, which are, some of them survive reasonably well, some of them have just decayed, and we've got bits of iron bar surviving in situ, and bits of the flue system just beginning to hint at. Then we have this rather enigmatic large stone structure here, which seems to be in a large cut coming along here and then down there, and then it's been backfilled with lots of rubble. We don't understand how that works yet, or what it relates to, but hopefully tomorrow we will find out. Day 3, and the work we've done is absolutely just fantastic. We've got all the flues for the last reuse of the pan houses completely defined, all the burnt brickwork with some iron work still in place. We're down to a level, we've just cleaned it all, last minute digging, and we're ready to record, do a photographic record after lunch, and then we'll start planning it and record it. And Neil is going to do his 3D drones orthographic stuff this afternoon, and then tomorrow we'll strategically put in some sondages to answer some questions about relationships between the later flue system and the earlier flue system that we've got uncovered as well. Yeah, day 4 at the salt pan here. As you can see, we're still working despite yesterday supposedly being our last day. We've put some sondage in where Keith is working through the early deposits there. We've got basically the light coloured stuff you can see is, believe it or not, a decayed wall. It's just actually sandstone wall that's just falling to bits. We've got another trench in this side, trying to get a section through the matrix there. But we've been concentrating this morning with Gareth and Kenny excavating the flues of this late pan structure here. These are the flues that would have come through. Pan would have been up here, so they would have heated the pan from underneath. We've got an in situ iron bar. There would have been another one here with a grate or a grill across the top with the coals on it heating the pan above. We've bottomed this one, Gareth's just bottomed this just now, and it's 1 metre deep, cut onto the bedrock. Kenny's about halfway down. We're presuming that's going to be about the same depth. So in doing this is going to give us a fantastic section through the blocked archway, through the deposits, the early supports for the early pan, and the later brick insertion in the middle, and through the Victorian wall on that side.
Well, on the last day, we had a fantastic day. The last day in here, we had yet to see what was underneath here. We have now discovered that we've gone right down onto bedrock. We now have these ash pits, which are partially excavated. We now know that this is definitely for a grate on the top. So the coal fires are burning up here. Ash is dropping into these pits to be raked out later on. And we know that we have the secondary phase that I'm standing on, and we have the primary phase, which is behind me. Yeah, so this dig was fantastic. We wanted to know the phasing of the industries in this building, and we've got that. We've got our 17th century pan at the bottom, we've got our 18th century pan on top, we've got features we didn't even know about, the archway in the wall. We've figured out how this building works.